Hi guys, it's the single Otome here, or you can call me O for short, as if you guys know who I am. This is my first video. I apologize. I am actually... let's go on and start this video. So for my first video, I wanted to do something that is kind of upcoming, but not too mainstream because, yeah, not trying to piss off some fandoms or people. I mean, this isn't really gonna piss anyone off. I mean, it could, but I hope not. That would be pretty disingenuous to piss people off. Your first video, yeah. So we are going to be talking about season 3 of Aggretsuko, which is coming out on Netflix the 27th. So we are grinding, we are getting it in, we are all raw dog it all. We're actually just gonna be talking about season 3, but yeah, this is a theory video, nothing really like crazy. Now, before I actually get into this video, I did go to my resources. I watched season 1 to the Metal Christmas special. I played the mobile game that allowed you to watch different clips, up to 100 of them, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna figure out every single little thing that can help me with these theories. Just to realize that the 100 episodes or clips actually were online for free and I didn't have to grind as much as I did. Also found out that I actually didn't need any of those clips. I mean, a couple of them were very interesting, but they didn't really help out with anything. It's still a pretty fun game. I mean, I really enjoy it, but I just enjoy Bejeweled type games as well. So let's dig deep into our inner metal red panda selves and get into this video. So we will be going over season 1 and 2 as well as the Metal Christmas special, and we're going to get it in with our theories for season 3. So as we all know, Aggretsuko is a red panda, 25, blood type A, Scorpio, and she is sick of her accounting job in season 1 because she's under her male chauvinist boss, who we realize later on is actually just a really hard-working family man and just trying to get his own like cut of the pie. But Aggretsuko starts being very extreme when it comes to trying to get out of the job, trying to leave and go to another not very stable job, and then also going and trying to get married instead because she feels like that would be her only way out. And also tries to get with a very rich guy, but that ends up falling on its head when she meets Rewatch, the space cadet. Literally the most bland character you could ever find in anime. And I mean, that includes rocks. But she ended up wanting this in the name of happiness. She thought that if she left her job, she would be able to find that happiness that she's always wanted in these 5 years that she's been working there. Hey guys, editing me here, just wanted to clarify that her having a crush on Rewatch had nothing to do with her wanting to leave her job, but she still wanted to find happiness through that relationship. Now, going into the Christmas special, Aggretsuko is finally content with her job, but she's not fully happy, and thus she ends up seeking happiness through Tsunoda's social media addiction and likes, and realizing that at the end of the day, life being simple and with friends is also fine as well. Now let's talk about this season 2. Honestly, there are so many plot points in season 2 and such great characters that were introduced in season 2 that I have to make a whole nother video talking about it. But time for a recap. In season 2, we end up focusing more on her adult life and finding happiness in that, and also the struggles and fears on it as well. Her mom was trying to have her get into an arranged marriage, and I is a better character than anybody really let on or cared to actually analyze. The girl went on and decided to go on and get her driver's license because she wanted to flee from life because it sucks like everybody else would like to. And while she is adulting, your girl ended up getting caught up with the man, the one with the plan, Tadano. Someone get me this, that. I know me so well, that was, that. But yeah, then Tadano, being the man with the plan, he ended up giving her literally everything she wanted back in season 1, and then plot twist, She was like, I want to be a blushing bride. I want to be in the white. I want the whole shebang. And then Tadano, being the man with the plan, did not have a plan for that. Now let's talk season 3. Let's talk about this poster, this lovely poster. Yas, queen, yas. Overall, it gives me more of a battle vibe. Now this could be a battle of the bands type of thing, and there will be a reasoning for that theory later on in the video. And like season 2, Haida is like one of the main focuses in this poster. Now, as we see with the season 2 poster, Tadano is one of the main focuses in this poster, as well as Haida still being in there, but not really one of the main big focuses. Now, we see Tone isn't in the poster as he was in the season 2 poster. That leads me to believe that he's either retiring or he's not going to be playing a major role in this season. I'm thinking more retiring because Komaya is actually in there instead, and he was Tone's right-hand man. Now back to the Coliseum thing. After watching the trailer, something that I did before making this video at all, I promise, I've noticed that the Coliseum could also be representing like all of the battles that Retsuko is going to go through this season. Whether it's the battle for her passions, the battle with her job, as well as the battle with love. And with Haida being outside of it, it's actually possible that he could be playing a role in every single one of those aspects. And with his hand reaching in, it's kind of like saying he has a hand in everything that is going on. Next up, we're going to be talking about Gori and Washimi. Now, as we see in the season 2 poster, they're not looking in the same direction anymore. They're actually looking away from each other, kind of indicating that they don't see eye to eye. And that actually could have been like the foreshadowing of that fight that they had. Now, as we can see in the season 3 poster, they're actually looking in the same direction. They're not seeing eye to eye still, but they're still going to be fighting for something mutual. Now, I will say in the trailer, it seems that they're on speaking terms now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they resolve everything that happened. Now, let's start talking about Feneko. Now, as we see in the season 2 poster, we have Haida and Feneko on the same side, and there was a bit of a theory that I had as far as their relationship. Now, I don't think it's anything romantic. I'm pretty sure she looks at Haida as like a little brother kind of type. She'll tease him, she'll mess with him, but at the end of the day, she'll still be there for him. So she's not exactly on the working side of the spectrum. You could actually say that she's kind of on that personal life kind of side of the poster. You have Tone and I and Tsunoda on the working side, while everybody on the right side of the poster is more so with personal life. Or they had a role to play with her views on her personal life. While Gori, Washimi, Haida, and Tadano are all in like the middle of it all. Now if we look at the season 3 poster with the same vigor and applications, watch me be wrong about everything this season. We have the cheetah, a couple of the gerbils, I don't know what they are, Komaya, Washimi, Gori. So they're going to be playing more on the role of her working side. And then the lead singer, Feneko, the majestic unicorn stallion, and the doggo are all also part of her personal life, or they'll play a role in her personal life. Speaking of which, let's start talking about the 6 new characters that are going to begin season 3. Now let's just thank the good Lord for translators real quick. Bam! We actually have a couple of names. So we have Hirorin, Monica, and Migi. What can I say? Parasite the Maximum, still on Netflix if you haven't watched it. Then we have the producer Hyodo, who is just kanji for leopard. There are no other translations, so I'm guessing this guy's name is Stal. And while we're at it, her name is B. Okay guys, let's start talking about this trailer, because if you thought that I had a lot to say about the actual poster, you're really gonna be in for a treat when I get to this trailer.
I can't get hurt anymore. I'm no one special in the grand scheme of things. It's time I live with my feet on the ground. 10 more seconds, yeah. That's all I'm asking for.
So we have Retsuko saying that she doesn't want to get hurt anymore, and then we go to her being in our VR headset, and pretty much we're realizing that she's going to live life virtually. She's over the real world, she's over real world problems, she's sick of adulting, she's over all of this mess. And we can see that with the way that she's living. Her room is a pigsty. She's in her sweats that she's always in. She probably hasn't even bathed for days. Okay, for one scream, that is a lot to unpack there, so we are going to go bit by bit. So first of all, we have good old drunk Haida as well as the dog. In all honesty, I'm just happy he didn't fall into a puddle again. Next we have Tadano, who most likely is working on Enio. Next we have this stallion, and for this video I'm just gonna call him Stal. Throughout this trailer it's pretty obvious that he is too beautiful for reality, thus we're all pretty much coming to the same conclusion that he is the virtual boyfriend. So let's start talking about Retsuko when she screams, both at the beginning of the trailer as well as the end of the trailer. So the first time she screams, it's with her in a bow, and it seems like she's in a frilly dress, and it's probably indicating her role with the girl group because they're all cutesy and stuff, and she could be going off because that's not her style and she wants to do some hard metal. Now with the second time that she ends up screaming, we see that she's in her breakup outfit as she was when she broke up with Sasuke as well as Tadano.
Investing. What do you say?
What, give you my money?
Well, Gory's new project's in need of capital. If you keep blowing cash on your virtual boyfriend, you'll end up in the poorhouse.
Hey guys, I'm back. Now let's talk about Gory and this app that she wants Retsuko to invest into. Yes, I know, this far into the video and I still haven't made a theory. Earlier in the video, you could probably say maybe those are theories, but I consider them more speculation. So theory 1, Gory is doing a marriage counseling app as we see in the actual trailer, but the thing is that I think when she meets with Tadano trying to get more investors in, he decides, hey, let's take this a step further, and comes up with the idea of making a virtual reality dating simulator, and thus Gory's like, oh, that's a great idea. As we all know, Tadano is someone who thinks ahead, and he can probably convince Gory that if we have a virtual reality dating simulator, we have to worry less about people being brokenhearted and being able to have to worry about relationships, marriage, because they already have the perfect boyfriend, girlfriend who lives the life that they want. And with the help of Enio, who's constantly learning, he'll be able to go on and learn from people's experiences and learn what people like to conjure up that perfect Otome experience that Tadano's probably pitching to Gory. Now with Tadano behind the tech and Gory behind the brains, what is Haida there for? Haida is the scapegoat. I say Haida is the scapegoat because someone needs to be the voice or have that down-to-earth kind of experience with relationships. As we all know, Tadano is someone who doesn't like being held down, especially by a piece of paper. Now, for him to have to be held down by this relationship stick as well, I highly doubt he'd be willing to be down for that. Now, Gory, she is a hopeless romantic to the point that she has kind of unrealistic standards behind them. And Haida, as we've seen in season 1, he was more down to earth. He wanted to get to know Retsuko. He wanted to actually forge a bridge to actually have that mutual understanding. Now, I'm gonna go back to near the beginning of the trailer when we saw Haida drunk. As we've seen in the trailer, Haida is definitely drunk again. Why, you ask? Because it's very well possible that he is behind the virtual boyfriend. And thinking that Retsuko is falling for him but not him would drive anyone insane. He's literally B-team. Now here are two theories back to back. Theory 1 would be that he got drunk because he doesn't want to lie to Retsuko anymore, and it's eating him up inside that he is lying to her. Theory 2, Gori and Tadano came up with the idea that he's going to be the scapegoat for the VR system that Retsuko is currently using, and they said he needs romantic experience, and with all of the stress, he ended up going out drinking, and thus would also explain why he ended up bringing a girl home. There's also another possibility that Haida is getting stressed out because he's receiving so much money from Retsuko as this virtual boyfriend when all he wants to do is just be her real boyfriend.
I am so sorry. Are you hurt?
As such, I hereby appoint you accounting director for the group. Not a bad deal, right?
So what's the deal?
Nothing. I'm just a little beat. I don't have enough money for this. Especially not now.
She lied to our faces.
So as we can see, Retsuko ended up getting into an accident with Hyodo allegedly, and instead of getting her with insurance, he decided, hey, like, you can be the accounting director for my girl group. So I'm assuming that she doesn't have insurance on her car yet, which would also make sense, especially if she doesn't have any money. So obviously we can see that Retsuko is very stressed out with all of these money problems that she has with the virtual boyfriend, the vehicle, and her apartment, and probably some other stuff that she just can't afford. So it seems that she's stressed out, and when Feneko and Haida end up confronting her at why she's acting weird, she acts like there's nothing going on. We already know Feneko knows about this virtual boyfriend and money stick, so we can only assume that it's because of her being an accountant for this girl group instead. So with the hole in Retsuko's chest, we can think of it as her not having any passions in life and she feels empty, or we can think of it as she literally has nothing.
I'm accounting director, but I'm just their gopher.
Do you really think we're selling them the music? We're offering them the fan experience.
You're not even woman enough to stand up for your own dreams. I know which one of us I'd rather be.
Why can't you just tell us stuff? What do you think we are to her?
We're those friends you see at work?
I don't know what I want to do. Most people have no idea.
So as we can see, there is a bit of a misunderstanding between Hyodo and Retsuko, and it would be what they're actually selling. Retsuko is like they're just selling music, while Hyodo is like we're selling a fan experience, which in hindsight is actually pretty different. With a fan experience, you're experiencing the singers, their personalities, who they really are in a sense, while if you're just selling music, you're just pumping out albums as fast as you can. I'm assuming because Retsuko asked the lead singer if she feels silly out there, the lead singer decided, hey, I'm actually following my dreams, well, what are you doing? And thus ended up starting that whole idea of, oh wow, I don't have any dreams of my own. What was interesting though is that she said that she was following her dreams, but we also had a cut to where Haida and Gori were drinking. As we all know, Gori's dream is to be married, but what is Haida's dream? I honestly couldn't say. Most people would probably think, duh, it's to marry Retsuko. But I mean, he's also in a band. He could possibly want that to get off of the ground or get out of the garage. Now some people watch shows and are like, no way he's in a band, he didn't say he was in a band, but with all of the context clues that were given throughout the series that we've been like seeing, it's pretty obvious that he is involved with a band or he is working with one. My first piece of evidence I would like to share with the court would be Haida during the Christmas special. As we can see, he is in casual clothes as well as he is playing his bass, oh, well, that doesn't mean anything. It could just be his hobby. Well, if you see around his room, you can also see that there are many bands, specifically rock bands, in poster form. As well, if we remember him going to the party on Christmas Eve, the group that he was with was very metal-like. Now this part is actually a theory, so let me put my ribbon back up here. So this theory is that Haida, during the Christmas special at the beginning, was preparing for his garage band concert. I'm assuming he had the day off. As we've seen, Retsuko does have days off, and it's not crazy to believe that Haida has days off for these garage band concerts as well. Next would be that the reason that there was a Christmas Eve party is because they had a Christmas garage band concert and they were celebrating that it was such a good turnout. Next, this is from season 2, and the fan art on the screen is from Milk-Addicc from DeviantArt, and I think that we were both on that same wavelength. That one random character from Puko's job that she employed randomly said, hey, I need a cover for my buddy's band as a drummer, and they really need me. In passing, somebody watching this would probably be like, oh, he's just a slacker. But if we think about it, we also have Haida in that next scene, well, next episode actually. We have Haida in his casual clothes after reading this article in his business clothes. Now bear with me. Puko said in the English dub that they're gonna pay him in beer. Now, in the Japanese, it doesn't say that, but if we think about it, that is something that a band would be willing to do, especially if you're a garage band because you don't have any money. Now, Haida would be all on top of that after practice because he'd be able to actually be able to drink his head off and not think about the article or anything, but he'd still fall into a puddle. Now this could be one of two reasons. They decided to just rehash the whole entire animation and reuse it as they have done with the breakup scenes, or there was a reasoning behind this. I'm gonna be an optimist and say that there is a reasoning behind this. Next, we also have Haida questioning what Retsuko thinks of her friend, and they know that they're just co-workers, but Haida, as we all know, wants something more. And thus that motivates him to go through with being the VR guy so he can actually get in that bubble that Retsuko keeps building around herself. Now to finish up this trailer.
When I count to 10, I'm...
So starting off, we have Retsuko staring off into the distance from her office building, and she seems content and happy. Then we start going through all of these like flashes, and it made me think like, yeah, she's probably thinking to herself that, yeah, the band life was kind of fun, it was interesting, and it was very like exhilarating, but that's not something that I think I want in the long run. Then we have the dog that's there, getting on the train, not really sullen. She looks the same as when she was sitting with Haida on his bed while he was playing his bass. Then we get back to the virtual boyfriend. And lastly, we end up seeing Haida holding a microphone and a phone, and his world completely shattering around him. So I was thinking about it, and I ended up coming up with a few more theories about this girl. So I'm gonna put all of my theories about her in one single speculation theory bit. She could be a relative visiting Haida because she's heard that he's been in the hospital twice since the last 6 months, it seems, and she was worried about him. Second would be that she is a fan of Haida's band. I'm leaning more towards her being a fan of, even though I would love for it to just be her as a relative, but if she is a relative, you heard it here first, and I will take all of the credit. Lastly, she could be somebody that he met at his buddy's bar. and she didn't feel comfortable with him going home by himself drunk and ended up taking him home instead. Haida's the next one going in the karaoke room. Well, duh, I mean, he's in there and he's holding the phone and got the mic. Of course he's the next one going in. The thing is that I think Haida has the phone because he has to show the receipts to prove to Retsuko that he is the VR boyfriend. And the microphone was because he probably wanted to join in on the karaoke session, not knowing that he is about to get railed. But I will give us Haida and Retsuko fans some hope. So we all remember the breakups between her and Tadano and her and Risasuke. They all had the same outfit. And referring to the beginning of the trailer, she also had that same outfit. But unlike the other times when she broke up with Risasuke and Tadano, she was actually crying. And I don't mean like a sad crying, it's probably an embarrassing crying. She probably went in there thinking that she was going to tell the truth about Retsuko again. But the thing is that Haida's there. He already knows the truth about everything, especially if he's the VR boyfriend and her coworker, so he literally sees both sides of her coin. Now, this isn't really speculation or theory, I just really think that this is going to be our final season. Just think about it, we've literally been rooting for Haida for 2 seasons and a Christmas special. I won't lie, when Tadano came into the picture, I was faltering and I apologize to you loyal fans out there. But on a real note, this is going to be the last breakup, or this is just going to be the beginning of her first actual long-term relationship. But I do have one final last theory about the karaoke room before we go. Haida, as the virtual boyfriend, decides to confront Retsuko about everything. That's literally the only way I see her going into that karaoke room with Haida. That's when Haida has to pull out these receipts and prove to her that he is still the VR boyfriend. And the difference between this theory and the other one I made is that Haida was the one that initiated this meeting instead of Retsuko. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, this theory video, speculation video, whatever you guys want to call it. It's been a long process for me. This is the first long video that I've ever made, and I hope to see you guys again. I will probably never make another theory video in my life unless there is another season of Aggretsuko or something that I'm super passionate about. Well, Oat is out and hope to see you guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and if you guys have any theories or speculations about this coming season, make sure to drop it in the comment section below and let's talk about it.